Okay, guys, welcome to the Zoom seminar. We got Mr. Todd Falcone, who I described to you guys in the email that I met back in 2018 during the 45th anniversary of Amsoil. And he put on a heck of a great presentation, and I've been following him on Facebook ever since. And I just got some great, concise, common sense stuff in terms of growing your Amsoil business, and he gets it. He's already presented, so he understands PCs and commercial and retail, and hey, expanding your business by bringing other other partners into our business. So with that, Mr. Falcone, the stage is yours.
The virtual stage,
The
yes.
virtual stage, exactly right. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, I know most of you are going to catch this on recording, which is fine, but nonetheless, good to virtually see all of you and see you at least, Aaron. Thanks for having me. So I'm just going to get right into it. Obviously, we know what's going on out there at the moment. We're all dealing with something that is very likely unprecedented in our lives, things that we've never seen before, things that none of us have ever experienced what's going on. And I've been sitting here at home like everybody else for the past few weeks, and we're all kind of faced with a decision here. Like nobody's going to say, "Gosh, this is a lot of fun." Like this is like one of those roller coaster rides that your parents put you on when you were too little to be on that roller coaster ride, and you're like, screaming, going, "Why did you put me on this ride? This isn't fun." But like here's the deal, and I gotta be really I'm gonna be blunt with you guys and just tell you like it is. It's the only way I know how. We've been dealt a hand, right? And I know because in Amsoil it's mostly men. There might be some women that catch this, but I know it's mostly men. I was at your your 45th annual conference, which is actually very different from most of the direct selling network marketing companies I speak for, which are probably 60 to 75% women. So, and I think it's obviously due to the nature of what you guys market, but you've been dealt a really crappy poker hand. And if you've ever played poker, and I'm sure you have, even if you've got the worst hand, it's how you play the cards that you've been dealt as to whether or not the other person is going to fold. And because you come in and you go all in and you bet, even if you've got nothing in your hands. And I think we've been dealt a, pretty bad, handful of cards, but it's what you do with the hand that matters. And I think this is going to be a defining moment for our country, a defining moment for the planet. I don't know what this is going to look like when it's all said and done, but there's certainly an awakening that's happening. There's an awakening that's happening out there. All the people that have jobs that work for somebody that don't have a plan B, that don't have a side gig, that don't have a side business or a business that they've started, they're all sitting at home going right now, what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to survive? Is my company going to still be here? Is my job going to still be here when this is all over? So, we're in this uncertain time, and there's fear, there's panic in some cases, there's certainly worry. Dr. Wayne Dyer, who passed away several years ago, I remember his quote, "All worry is a waste of time." And when I heard that, I thought about times in my life where I've worried or I've stressed out. And I thought to myself, in any of the situations where I worried or I had all this stress like welling up inside of me, did it ever serve me? Did it ever actually help me, with the situation? And I can't think of a single time where worry ever really helped out. And I saw something on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to claim it that I made it up or I own it because I don't. But the statement said, we need to be warriors, not worriers. And I think right now we're literally in a battle. We're in a battle of after, whatever the hell is going on out there, and a battle for our financial future. And I think this is decision time for a lot of people. Individuals that are out there that have never heard of this business model, they need to hear that there's an option. I've been to a lot of events over the last couple of years where people talk about the gig economy. And the gig economy, if you're not familiar with what that is, essentially refers to things like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, those are probably the three things that, people think of right away. And even the gig economy things where, and they refer to those as being potentially competition to the network marketing or direct selling space, because I can hop in my rig, go drive somebody around for, several hours and maybe make $100. So they have that choice, but they don't even have that choice right now. So even the things that were gig economy, in fact, I was supposed to be in Humboldt, California right now visiting some friends. But we're not going, obviously, because we're on lockdown. And secondly, she has 2 rooms for Airbnb at her house, and she's at 98% cancellation. So when there's an obstacle, anytime there's an obstacle, I see it as opportunity in disguise. And I think first and foremost, here's the deal: your family needs you. The world needs leadership right now. The world needs people to step up, not lay on the couch all damn day. Get caught up in the news and get caught up in the drama and get caught up in the death and the stuff that's going on. And I'm not saying don't be informed. I mean, certainly it's important to be in the know, but we're all in lockdown. We all have more time than we've ever had to ourselves. And you have a choice to make. You can curl up on your sofa all day long and do nothing and think that the world is falling apart, or you step up like you've never stepped up before and you decide to go out there and make a significant difference. And I think that given the fact that there are people out there that are literally, if they're religious, they're at home right now praying to God, please bring me a sign, bring me an opportunity, bring me something that, is going to give me some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not going to be a train coming straight at my face. And I think the fact that we have a business model, and even look, I understand, I'm very, very well aware of what you guys do with Amsoil. I spoke at your 45th annual conference. I spent a lot of time researching your company and what you guys do. And I know how long you've been around, because I guess it's 47 years now, right? Probably, or maybe.
Yep. That's right.
Here's what I see. And I used an example when I was on the stage, for those of you that weren't there, of how many, and I don't have the statistics in front of me, how many motorcycles, cars, boats, recreational vehicles, ATVs. And so, I mean, there's so many motor vehicles, there's so many motors out there that in my mind, personally, I think the top earners and don't get mad at me. I mean, it is what it is. It's just the way I see it. I always tell it like I see it. The people that are in Amsoil should be making 10 to 20 to 50 times more per year than they are. And I think that the big reason why you got people and I'm not, I know what the top earners are making in the company. I think the biggest reason why people aren't making more money is because a good percentage of people are focused almost exclusively on the sale of products and acquiring customers. Now, don't get me wrong, customers are absolutely crucial. The fact that you guys are customer centric or customer focused is vital, because I think there's been a lot of companies outside of what you guys do that have been too opportunity driven, too opportunity focused, with not a focus on end user consumption, right? Because here's in the end, every company in this space markets stuff, and that stuff is meant to be used, right? It's not meant to be purchased and shoved into a garage and stockpiled into a garage. It's meant to be, in your case, put into the vehicle. If it's another company, put on their face or put into their body, not a bunch of distributors just buying stuff. So I think given what's going on right now, where you have people out there that are going, I don't even have a plan B. And I'll tell you, like I've had hundreds of conversations literally in the last 3 weeks with people in the network marketing profession, and those that are and have maintained focus and not allowed themselves to get pulled to the sofa in front of the TV all day or whatever the hell they're doing. Ones that have stayed productive are finding that the people that are open to a financial opportunity is more so than they've ever experienced in their lives. In fact, last Wednesday, I get an email from my buddy David. He was in my downline 25 years ago. Last 7 years, he's been selling real estate in Northern California, very successful at it. He sent me an email the other day that just the email is, hey, Todd, hope you and the family are doing great, blah, blah, blah. Listen, my real estate business is shut down. I can't show a house. I don't see any deals happening anywhere in the near future. I need to get back involved in network marketing. Saturday, I was sitting with my kids and working on a puzzle, I think. And I get a text message from another buddy of mine that was in my downline like 18 years ago. And he's a very well-known club DJ. Like, I had no idea. I had no clue DJs made so much money. He's not the wedding DJ that you hire to come do your wedding. This guy's like super high end.
Yeah.
Like people coming up asking for his autograph after, like, well respected in that community. He called, and he's got this network of DJs in his company. He's like, brother, man, he goes, I knew a long time ago I should have never stopped doing network marketing. I need to get back in network marketing. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Two people out of the blue, because they know what I do and they know I'm super well connected, are reaching out to me. This is not the time to be sitting. People have been asking, like, oh, given all that's going on, this is a regular question I've had. Given all that's going on right now, should I even be talking about a business opportunity? Should I be out there selling my products? Yeah, you should. It's your responsibility to do it. Like all commerce, a lot of commerce has obviously stopped, but we've had a forced stop in commerce. Like my wife and I would normally be going to a Mexican restaurant tonight to go have tacos and a margarita. We're not going there because the restaurant's closed. So I've racked my brain up, down, sideways, left, and right, thinking like, what else is there? What else is there right now for someone to do where they can come in, plug, play, sign up? They don't have to come up with the concept, the idea, the products. Can you imagine what it would take right now to start Amsoil? Like, let's say the company didn't exist. You're like, oh, I'm at home, stuck at home. Yeah, I'm going to come up with a better way for, lubricants for vehicles and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, how long is it going to take you to do that? Now you're like, obviously a made up example, but you said, I have to sit here and create it, test it, retest it, company name, attorneys, money, marketing plan, market it, like buildings, rent, all of it. Nobody's got the time to do that. Here's the deal. You get to pick up the phone and say, look, if I could show you a way to make money entirely from home, is that something you'd be open to taking a look at? And I will tell you right now, again, and I think this is, and I don't really care. Look, here's the deal. I know the deal with Amsoil, okay? I know because I had many conversations leading up to the 45th annual conference, many conversations after it. And to me, I think the key is obviously you have to move products. You have to find locations that are going to sell your products. But the thing is, you finding other dealers that are going to participate and build a business is where the big money is. If I was building your company, I'd be recruiting my tail off. I'd be like, who can I put in that can be yet another distribution channel? Because like, if you look at it, conceptually, if you wanted to get wealthy and it's very similar to franchising, different, but similar. Okay. I could have one McDonald's franchise cost me $1 million. I'll probably do pretty good. I can make a lot of money on one McDonald's franchise. 2, make more. 5, make more. If I had 20 McDonald's franchises, you're rich.
You're flying.
You're flying. Yep. And why are you flying? Because you have all these additional distribution channels. And what I found, and there are people that make really good money in Amsoil, but I think they could be making exceptional money if they had a focus on both building a significant distribution network that's other dealers that you recruit and you sign up, in addition to what you're doing through retail channels and finding other people to distribute just the product. So, and you know as well as I do, you got people, I can go to the local motorcycle shop and have him rep Amsoil products, and he doesn't have to go out there and recruit other people, but I'd be having the conversation with that guy about, hey, who do you know that owns another motorcycle shop? Because those guys are connected to somebody else who has an auto parts store, somebody else who has an aftermarket shop for motorcycle accessories or whatever it might be. I just think that now there is no better time in history for our profession to shine. And so my message that I've been giving people through these last many hours of trainings over the last couple of weeks is now's the time for you to step up, not step down. It's not the time to check out. It's the time to check in. This is the time for you to be working as if your life depended on it. Now, what's actually interesting, and I'll bring this up and then the people on the recording can catch this, but this is an example that I've used on stages. In fact, 3 weeks ago was actually the last event that I did before we went on lockdown. And I was in Vegas speaking for like 2,500 people. And while I was in that room, I asked the audience, because now this is a national conference, much like the one that I attended for you guys, 2,500 people in the room. I asked the audience, I said, how many of you in the room here want to make enough money from this where your life could depend on it? In other words, more than enough money coming in, recurring residual cash flow coming in, whether you're working or not, your bills are paid for, college funds covered, your kids' college education is covered, your cars are paid for, your house is paid for, you didn't have to have a second job or whatever. And of course, what happens? Every hand in the room,
everybody's hands are up. Yeah.
Everybody's hand is up. I'm like, cool. Well, let me ask you this question. How many of you are acting as if your life depended on it? And then
crickets.
90% of the hands go down. I'm like, wait a minute, but you say you want to, so you're willing to lip it, but you're not going to live it. It's like people say that they want to I want to make 10 grand a month, but I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what are you doing to get there? And they're like, oh, not enough. Well, you already know, wait a minute, not enough. So you already know why you're not there, but you're like mad at the lack of results that you're getting from the work that you never did. And then what's also interesting, and before actually the situation that we're in now, I've always used this as a made up example, like an imaginary scenario. And here's the imaginary scenario. I said, let me ask you this question. And I'm like walking through the audience as I'm talking and looking at these people that are all there, paid money, flew from literally, most of these people flew from Central and South America and all over the world. And I said, what if tomorrow you didn't have a job? What if tomorrow you didn't have a savings account? What if tomorrow you couldn't borrow money from anybody? What if tomorrow you had no source of funds but this business that you're in right here? And the only way for you to eat, the only way for you to put a roof over your head, the only way for you to pay your bills and take care of your obligations was you had to make this business work, because this was literally the only choice that you had available to you. How many of you would do things differently? All the hands in the room go up again. And here's the deal. Right now, we're facing that exact scenario.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we're there.
And so, people that are watching this, some of you might be earning a full-time income and you're like, hey, well, this sucks that I got to stay at home, but I ain't worried about it because the money's still coming in regardless of whether I can leave the house or not. And then there's people who have been in Amsoil for, I don't know how long, it doesn't matter how long.
Yeah, I'm 10 years.
Some people who have been dilly-dallying around, treating it like a little hobby. And now you're sitting at home going, damn it, why didn't I treat this seriously? Why didn't I've had this thing for 3 years. Why didn't I step up? Now you can sit there and you can live at home and regret and kick yourself in the butt and be all depressed. Fine, kick yourself in your own butt once, but do it so that you move yourself into gear. Maybe this is your sign. This is your awakening, your wake-up call that it's time to get to work. I think right now there's no time like the present to be using this thing, picking up the phone and calling whoever you can, as many people as you can. Let me tell you something. People are picking up their phones right now, and they're answering the phone like they've never answered before, and they're saying, "Hey," and I would challenge all of you to that list of people that you've been thinking about getting to, that you reach out to those people and you say, look, have a conversation. Here's how my conversation would change. if we were in a normal market situation, actually, I'll just tell you what I would do now. Given what, let's say Aaron was my buddy and he and I have known each other for 25 years. I've been thinking about bringing this business to him or sharing these products with him. Haven't done it yet. I'd call him up and say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? How you healing from your surgery? You know, what's up? When you getting back on the snowmobile? What's the doctor saying? Catch up, you know, see what's up. Like, take a little bit of time and catch up with him. And then I would say, listen, Aaron, you know, Carla and I have been building a business for the last couple of years. I haven't even had an opportunity to share this with you yet, but if I could show you a way to earn money starting today without you having to leave the house in order to do it, literally having a home-based business, is that something you'd be open to taking a look at? I'd be hard pressed to say there's going to be a lot of people saying no at this moment in time. I got to share something with you that blows my mind. So I got this girl 4 weeks ago. She purchased a training program from me called Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals. And just like 4 weeks before we got on lockdown, she went through the whole course and she said, okay, hey, can I keep you abreast of what I'm doing? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And she said, okay, so what's the best way to do it? And I said, just send me a text. So she's been sending me text messages like every other day. This is one that she sent me this morning. Hey, coach, 18 calls, 5 new appointments set, 4 follow-ups, 2 looking deeper. And she's specifically going after business owners, real estate professionals, people that are higher level people.
Yeah.
But this is interesting what she said to me yesterday, 1:50 in the afternoon. This is a text I got from her. Small problem today. Everyone is saying yes to looking at the info. I was like, I texted her back. I said, tough problem. The whole world is awake, especially pros.
Yep.
And then her response was, yeah, I'm a bit blown away. They're opening up and telling me what's going on in their profession. So I think the way we need to do it, though, and we should do it this way, either way, is it needs to be done in a tactful, professional manner. And that's the way network marketing should always be done. But I think that given what's going on, that now you need to step up your game more than ever before. Some of you that maybe were part-time, you're probably not working right now. Maybe you are, maybe you're working remotely. I don't know what your deal is, but there's a lot of people that just simply aren't able to work. They're literally at home going, what am I going to do with all my time? And here you have a financial vehicle that gives people the opportunity to work in their own hours, wherever they want, from home, from wherever they might be, because we aren't tied down to an office or a facility or the restaurant or the retail location or whatever people typically do to make money. And so given that we're really the only logical choice right now, and I've tried really hard. I mean, so I know a bunch of you guys in Amsoil are probably pretty good with your hands. These hands are not handy hands, okay? Let me just tell you something. Like, I can fish like nobody's business.
And ski.
I can ski. I've been doing that for my whole life. But when it comes to fixing stuff, I suck at it. I got my handyman right now. I got one lamp that he changed in my laundry room, and he was getting ready to change the second one. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'm like, that's what the handyman's for. My wife calls me the not-so-handyman. Because I remember hanging some shelf for her, like one of those shelves that those ladies like to put their stuff on that goes up, you know, and you got to screw 2 holes in.
Yeah.
And I got it sideways, and like whatever you put on there would slide down. She's like, you're the not so handy man. I'm like, I told you. I said I'm like not so handy. And it's like, I told you I hate hanging those shelves, but yet you got to hang the shelves. But even my handyman won't even come to my house right now. So my point in saying all of this is, given the fact that network marketing is one of the only available options for people right now, this is a chance for people to begin their plan B. Are they going to make money overnight and replace their income overnight? No.
Hell no.
No. But it can be a start. And then, and I can tell you now, and you won't know until you step up your game and start reaching out to more people like never before. that the amount of people that are open to a change is will be like nothing you've ever seen. The amount of openness to looking at your business will be like nothing you've ever seen. Especially
I'm seeing it daily.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when you use the verbiage. Look, Aaron, look, if I could show you something you could do entirely from home, earn money, have a completely home-based business. Is that something you would be interested in taking a look at? Who can say no to that right now? Because they're sitting at home going, I don't even know if my company is going to be around. Then when, probably not if, but when something in the future does happen, hopefully not coronavirus or anything like that. I don't know. Hopefully we get this one just one and done, and maybe another 100 years something else will come along. We've been due, right? I mean, we haven't had to deal with it in our lifetimes, anything crazy like this. When something happens in the future, whether you get laid off in your job, your company that you work for closes down, whatever happens, you are unable to physically work. You're like, oh, hey, well, I've got my plan B already set up, and I have had this side gig that's making me enough money where I was planning on firing the boss anyhow. Doesn't matter. So I just, a couple of actionable here. I'll give you 4 actionable items that I've been sharing with all these people. Number one is you need to make a rule for yourself. This is not a goal. It's a rule. And if you were to make this a rule or a law for yourself, you'll never have, and even if I didn't share anything other than that, you'll never have money worries again. And it's literally that simple. And what the rule is, and so for example, I'll give you kind of a stupid example. None of you will get in your car, drive to the grocery store stark naked, and go grocery shopping. Even if you like being naked at your house and you love running around naked, you would never do that unless you're crazy. And the reason you would not do it is because there is a law called indecent exposure. And somebody sees you naked in the grocery store, they're going to call the cops, and your cold butt's going to be the back of a cop car with handcuffs on. So you get dressed because it's the right thing to do, because it's a law, and you put your clothes on and you go to the grocery store. What does that example have to do with what the heck I'm talking about? Well, what I'm sharing with you is that you need to have in your business is a law. It's a rule for you. And it's this: never does a day pass without me doing X. Or I never finish my day until I've done blank. And the X or the blank is daily minimum number of intentional business reach outs for your Amsoil business. I don't know what the number is for you. I don't think 1 is a big enough number. 1, I mean, just, wow, I'm so exhausted. Boy, you had a rough day today. You reached out to one whole person to grow your business. Obviously, I'm being a little facetious there. 50. I think 50 is probably too much. So the number you have to pick is something that forces you to stretch, but that you can hit every single day. Is it 5 reach outs a day? Is it 10? Is it 4? Is it 8? I don't know what the number is. It's based on the amount of time that you have available to build your business. But these are intentional business building reach outs. Ken, I'm calling you. I want to talk to you about this business. Aaron, John, Bill, whoever you're talking to, specific intentional business building reach outs. And if you committed to a number, let's say 5. I could get 5 done in probably 45 minutes. And that's my work day. I mean, that's nothing. If I did 5 reach outs every single day for the next 365 days, or if you did that, where would your Amsoil business be in 365 days? It would be in a totally different place than it is right now. It would be impossible for you to not succeed. But it has to be a law. This is not something you're shooting for. This is something that is your new rule in your life.
You're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen in a 24-hour period.
It's not hard.
No, not at all.
I mean, I can sit here and go through, this is just the last couple of weeks. I log every single bit of business building activity. Every single line in here is a new call, a new reach out. Every single one of these are all individual people. I do it every single day, and I log every single bit of business building activity that I do. So that's number 1, okay? Daily minimum number of reach outs that are intentional reach outs for your business. Number 2 is this is a relationship business. People buy from those that they like and trust. Who do you need to reach out to that you haven't talked to in a while? Who do you need to reconnect with? Because here's the deal. If the only time you call me is when you want to sell me more of your product, I ain't buying. Oh, yeah, you're showing up again for another order. Nice. But if you maintain contact in between business conversations, I'm going to be more receptive to the message when you reach out to me and say, listen, I've got something I'm doing. I want to show this to you. If the only time you call somebody is when you want something, you're not going to get it. And given the fact that we're all in isolation right now, there's no better time to be reconnecting with people. Who have you not spoken to in 6 months? Who have you not had a conversation with in a year? I'd be opening up my phone, going through my phone, going, oh, I haven't talked to John in forever. I'm going to send him a text message and say what's up and take the chance to reconnect with that guy and see how he's doing and see what's up. That's number 2. Number 3, Brian Tracy wrote a book called Eat That Frog. I don't know how many of you go with your honey and say, hey, you want to go out for frog legs tonight? I doubt very many of you. It's like, are we doing Italian? We want to do sushi? We doing Mexican? We going to have steak? What are we going to have? You don't go, we going out for frog legs or Chinese food tonight? Maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, and frog does not taste like chicken. I've had it. But and here's the gist of that book without you having to read the book, although it's a great book, is get the hardest task done first thing in the day. What's your hardest task in this business? Who's your most intimidating prospect? Who's the one that you've been putting off because you think they'll judge you or you think that they wouldn't do this or you don't think that they would buy your products? You get up in the morning every day and you go, who's my toughest prospect in my mind? And you get to that person first thing in the morning. Guess what? The rest of your day is a cakewalk. It's a breeze. Number 4 is you need to take time to sharpen your saw. How many times have you been in your kitchen making dinner and you got a tomato and you're cutting the tomato with a dull knife and you're sitting there trying to cut through the tomato and you can't even cut through the skin. You're like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? But then you take the time to sharpen it and it's like, there's another great book, by the way, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And in that book, he talks about the story. And there's this guy walking through the woods. He's going on a little walkabout and he comes across this lumberjack and he sees this lumberjack and he's sitting there watching this guy and he's sitting there with a manual saw trying to cut this tree down and he's sweating and he's exhausted and he's frustrated and he's watching the guy and he finally comes up and he taps him on the shoulder and he says, hey, excuse me. He looks up at him. He says, listen, I can't help but notice, but there's no teeth on your saw. It's like his saw is like as sharp as a butter knife. And the guy sits and looks at him. He goes, I'm just too busy sawing to sharpen my saw. And the thing is, like, people in this business say that they want to get good, but they're not working on getting good. Like, people all the time, and this honestly makes me sick, because people in network marketing all over the world, I've spoken in 30 countries. I want to get good. I'm like, cool. Well, what are you doing to get good? What do you mean? Aren't I supposed to just come in and do it? I started in network marketing at the age of 22, right out of college. They held up a book in the presentation. The book was Think and Grow Rich. Only books I had ever read were textbooks. And they're like, you need to read that book. And then like a couple weeks into it, the guy goes, hey, there was this event happening in San Diego, California. And he said, you need to be at this seminar. And I said, seminar? I don't want to go to no seminar. I just want to make some money here. He said, you don't get it. And I go, what do I don't get? He goes, do you want to be a leader in this company? And I said, I do. He said, well, leaders attend events. You need to be at that event. And he turned and he walked away from me. He didn't even look back and give me a smirk or anything. He just walked away from me. And I was just like,
who the hell are you?
But here was a guy that I respected that was a leader in the company. And I was broke. I had no money. The event, it was 1989. The event was $300 to go to this event. I didn't have the cash. But the message was clear. I needed to go to that event. I went to that event. I slept in my car for 2 days. Only event I ever slept in my car at, but I did. And it was life-altering for me. I began to see the importance of skill development. Jim Rohn, I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Rohn. Hopefully you are. I'm sure you are, Aaron.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to speak with him 7 times before he passed on. We shared the stage 7 times. He's got a bunch of great quotes, but one quote in particular is, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Pretty much all the things that I've learned about being successful in business have been after college. I mean, college taught me some stuff, but it didn't teach me how to be a great business person. So I think you need to be spending time every day reading. It doesn't have to be my book. You could be any book. It could be some book, some audio, some program, something that you're plugging into, something that you're listening to. But sitting at home and hoping to get better isn't going to cut it for you. So most of you guys at some point in your life probably played some sport growing up. I grew up playing soccer, tennis, skiing. Those are like the 3 sports. I dove competitively. I swam competitively when I was a kid. And before every swim meet, before every soccer game, before every tennis match, we practiced before the match or the game. Why? Because the practice prepared you for the game so that when you played the game, you were better at the game. And yet here in network marketing, people are like, yeah, I want to get good, but they're not spending any time sharpening their saw. There's no time like now to be going, what book can I be reading? What can I be plugging into? How can I learn something today that will make me more effective tomorrow? And back in the 1800s, there's a guy named, I never met him. I wasn't around. I might be older, but I ain't that old. Sir Francis Bacon coined the phrase, knowledge is power. We've all heard that phrase. But I disagree with him, and he's not here to argue with me, but even if he was standing in front of me right now, I would argue with him. And I say, look, Sir Francis, Mr. Bacon, I love to eat you for breakfast. Listen, I disagree with you. I don't think knowledge is power. Knowledge is powerless. Knowledge is nice, but it's powerless until it's put to use. So to have all the information, like how many people will read a book and do nothing with it and put the book down? How many people will listen to an audio program and not do anything with it? How many people watch this video and take the 4 actionable items and don't do jack with it?
Yep.
You can sit here and watch me and do nothing. I don't care. It's up to you. But I can tell you right now, I didn't come here to entertain you. I didn't come here to lead you astray. I've been in network marketing for 30 years. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I can tell you right now that if you set a daily minimum and you focus on revenue producing activities every single day, you're going to win. If you become a better connector, you're reaching out to people when they least expect it to say, hi, what's up? How you doing? You maintain that connection because relationships are like plants. Plants need to be watered and fertilized in order for them to flourish and grow. If you don't water your plants, they die. If you don't water your relationships, they die. I think the importance of getting that hardest task done first thing in the day, you got to get it done. You might as well get it done now. You teach your kids that stuff. Stop procrastinating. Stop putting off your home. Why'd you put off your homework to the last hour before you got to go back to school? You should have done it, 2 weeks ago when they first gave you the assignment. Then you wouldn't have to worry. And then spending time every single day sharpening your saw. What can I do today to grow me so that tomorrow my knife is sharper and I can get better results with the time that I put into the business? I just think right now, again, the world needs leadership. They need you to step up. People are out there hoping somebody's going to bring them something. And many people are stepping up to the cause. And I think right now, this again is a great time for our profession to shine like never before. This is a time for you to make probably the biggest move you've ever made in your Amsoil business right now while we're stuck at home. And then if and when something occurs in the future, you're like, okay, well, I'm stuck at home again, but I'm making 50 grand a month. So who cares?
Yep.
So
solid message. Solid message, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you for having me on. I know a bunch of people will catch this on replay, but definitely appreciate the time.
Yeah, definitely. And, you're talking about education, and I preach this to all the dealers that are in my group. It says, hey, you know what? Amsoil spent a lot of time and effort with Amsoil University, and I think you probably got a little exposure to that. And so in their back office, and it's there's a lot of great training there. So much to your point in terms of sharpening your saw, they know that. So you need to understand, or get in there and understand what they're teaching you, so that you can make the call on the retail accounts and the commercial accounts, and talk to a preferred customer, or talk to somebody about starting a business. It's all there. You just got to get after it and spend some time on it. So what you're saying is solid. There's no doubt about it.
I appreciate that. Well, there's no time like the present.
Yeah.
You got all the time on your hands. Let me tell you the other thing. Like, I don't know, how many weeks are we into this now? 3 weeks. We've barely gone anywhere. We probably got another 4 weeks.
Yeah, minimum 4 weeks.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
If you're not keeping busy, even as busy as I've been, which has been, I've actually been busier.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks than I have, and I'm always busy, but it's been insane. Like, I'm literally working from 8 till I pass out. I'll come down, have a glass of wine, bite to eat, and 15 minutes later, I'm snoring on the couch. And my wife's like, "Go to bed," because I did 10 hours of Zooms that day. I looked at my wife an hour and a half ago, and I go, "What day is it?" Wait, what day is it? Is it
what week are we in?
Is it Friday yet? She's like, "No, it's only Wednesday." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's only Wednesday."
It's not an April Fool's joke either.
No, I know that I wish we woke up and this whole thing was an April Fool's joke, but
yeah,
it's not. I mean, the world's going to be different. We don't know what's going to happen. We got to do what we can do. You got to focus on what you can control. You can't, you got to do whatever, social distancing, wash your hands, not expose yourself to that crap, but play it safe. But all this time you have on your hands, this is an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself and really get your business booming. So, Aaron, I appreciate the opportunity to share with your crew.
Fantastic. And I got one of your books here, Fearless Networking. You want to talk a little bit about that so they know how to find you? Yeah,
I'll give a couple things that people can plug into. Fearless Networking you can find on my website at toddfalcone.com, TODDFALCONE.com. You can get it for free, just pay shipping. One other thing that is coming up that I'll bring up, since 2008, I've been running something called A-Team, which is a 12-week accountability program. I actually had a number of people from that conference that ended up doing a few of my A-Teams. A-Team is like this. The analogy that I use is kind of like hiring a personal fitness trainer, but for your business. So if you've ever worked out with a trainer, and most of us have probably in our lives at some point, when you have a trainer standing over you and standing with you, you always get a better workout with the trainer than you do by yourself. Don't tell me you work harder without the trainer, because you're full of crap if you say that. Like, I've walked into the gym like, I'm going to crush this workout without a trainer. Walk into the gym, and 15 minutes later, I'm walking out because I got lazy. I've done it. Or if you're in a group fitness class, you're sitting there like I do yoga like 4 or 5 mornings a week at 6 a.m. I used to think yoga was for, I don't know. I just
say it. Yoga was for girls. That's what I would say.
Well, I mean, it's 20 chicks and 2 dudes, so it is mostly women. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I'm in yoga class. I get up at 5:20 in the morning, go in this yoga studio, and if you've never done yoga, let me tell you something. It is an absolutely hard workout. I'm in this pose, triangle pose. All of my muscles are twitching. My brain is saying, lay down. I've got sweat like just pouring off of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, just lay down, Todd, lay down. My body's telling me to lay down. My brain's telling me to lay down. I got this chick behind me who's like holding us in the pose. I could see all the other people this direction. They're all staying in the pose. Hell no. Am I going to be the only guy that lays down? So it forces you to do more. And some of you, if you've ever done any kind of group fitness deal or worked out with a trainer, that's what happens. That's what A-Team is. So A-Team, my next one starts April 14th. It's 12 weeks. We meet Tuesday nights on a Zoom. I teach you something amazing. We have over 300 people already registered for this one.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm already there.
Yeah, I know you are. And so we, when we started this in 2008, it was $500 for the 12 weeks. Last week, I made a call to my team on Wednesday afternoon. I said, hey, we need to have an emergency meeting. We're dropping the price. We're changing the price. So we dropped the price to $99 for A-Team. I've never once run an A-Team for $99. Probably will never run another one again for $99. But the reason I'm doing is because people right now, more than ever, need to keep their head in the game. And then we also, and this is another last minute call I did. This, what I have in my hands right here, is called Cracking the Code to Success in Network Marketing. In fact, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people at your national conference 3 years ago
I think so.
this.
Yeah, I think so.
Anybody, and this sells for $4.97 on my site right now. Anybody who registers for A-Team, not only will they get into A-Team for $99, but they'll get the full digital version of this. That means it's instantly delivered to you. You register for A-Team, and within 15 minutes, you get a login and password, and you can start listening to what's in here. And this is literally the most comprehensive audio training program that I produced in 15 years of being a speaker and a trainer. It's essentially the A to Z on how to succeed in network marketing. And
it's good. Yeah, it's good.
I know you have it. I know. The website for that is toddfalcone.com/team. So it's TODDFALCONE.com/TEAM. So if you think you need a little help staying in the game, if you think I can teach you something, which I know you can, if you want to push yourself a little bit harder and be running with a group of people that have all the same desire, and that's to maintain focus and be more productive, then I would certainly invite you to participate in A-Team. So, you can be listening to this for the next couple weeks until we start on Tuesday, April 14th. But you have the website. You can make that decision for yourself. And again, Aaron, I appreciate the time.
Hey, it was fantastic. It was brilliant, Todd. I appreciate your message.
Thank you. Well, listen, go crush your day, Ken. Next time I'll see you, you'll be on a camera with a microphone and
a new laptop.
And a new laptop. So glad you could make it here. And for the rest of you guys that are catching this on the recording, I'll get this recording out to you. I'm just pressing stop right now, and I'll get my assistant to get it out to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, my friend.
That's awesome. That's a lot of your time, man. I really appreciate that.